Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Shemel Shah. Double honor to Apostle GMS. I'm now Allah coming to the video. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on the book of Psalm chapter 10. I'm going to start from verse 7, but I really want to focus on verse 9, 8, and 9. Because, we in the midst of this whole George Floyd riots, but there's obviously a deeper agenda behind it, of course. This is Psalms 10 and 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. It's talking about Esau. The Bible calls him Esau, but the world calls them white people. Because Esau brought forth the nation of Edom. And Edom is biblically known as what white people are today. Or Edom is biblically known as white people today. Okay? So-called Caucasians, if you will. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. So his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. No one is as deceitful as the white man is. And under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Right under his tongue, his speech is all about mischief. It's all about vanity. Alright? That's what it's all about, mischief. And that's what this whole thing is about. This whole pushing this whole George Floyd thing. It says he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. Right, you sitteth in the lurking places, a place where you lurk. You lurk in a place where you don't want to where you don't want any attention. You lurk in a secret place. Look at the word lurking places. Ma'arab says ambush, blind, ambush, lurking place, lies in wait. So that word there for lurking is the ambush. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, place where you will ambush someone. In the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. Right, his eyes are privily or privately set against the poor. Because in the midst of this whole George Floyd protest, you got to think about this for a second. For one, they don't even talk about coronavirus no more. That's not even a hot topic now. It's this whole George Floyd protest thing. Not only that, you got to think about it like this. Black people been getting killed by the police multiple times a year. Why would now all of a sudden they seek to upload an image of a so-called black man being killed by a so-called white man? I say so-called because we aren't really black. We're brown. I say so-called black because we aren't really black. We're brown. I say so-called white because they aren't really white. They're really red. Okay? But why would they all of a sudden now seek to put out that footage? Black people get killed by the police multiple times a year. But guess what? They don't always put it out there. They don't always put out footage. They put out footage whenever the media puts out the footage, whenever the media sees fit. And the reason why they do that is to solicit a desired response, to cause or obtain a desired response. And knowing that if you put black person in the media being killed by a police officer, what that's going to do is going to cause people to riot. Where were all these black people getting killed by police in February, January, December, in other words, before this whole pandemic, before this whole quarantine, before this whole social distancing? Where were they? It was occurring. The media just wasn't covering it. If the media was covering it, the media didn't push it out there where they're pushing this out there. Why now during the time of quarantine? Why now during the time of social distancing? Why now? Because the media wants black people to riot. The people in power in the society wants our people, wants Jake. When I say Jake, I'm talking about Jacob. Because you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all are part of the 12 tribes of the nation Israel. You so-called African Americans, West Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans, the people from Guatemala to Panama, Colombia, Uruguay, Argentina, Chile, so-called North American Indians, Seminole Indians, and the so-called Mexicans. Those are the 12 tribes of the nation Israel. That's what they're called today. Your biblical names are Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Simeon, Manasseh, Zebulon, Naphtali, Asher, Gad, Reuben, Issachar. Did I forget a tribe? I'm not sure. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Simeon, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Zebulon, Asher, Gad and Reuben, if I didn't say your name. Pardon me, I'm not, if I didn't remember all of them, say one more time. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Simeon, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Zebulon, Naphtali, Issachar, and Asher. Okay, I had to say it 3 times just to make sure, because I wasn't counting it in my mind. I wasn't counting to 12 when I was saying a lot of different names. Okay, so now that and then the media covers black people or people in general burning things, destroying property, damaging police cars, to paint the idea that look at black people, look how dangerous they are, look how violent they are, to depict you as a menace to society. And being that you're being depicted as a menace to society, what does that then mean? The government is now justifiable in what? In putting you down. In other words, killing you. Think about it. If they could depict you as being a violent criminal by causing all this damage, they're now then justified in killing you. But now it wouldn't be called a genocide, rather a euthanasia, which means mercy killing. That's common sense. Think about it. These neighborhoods, these cities are on fire. Where's the fire department? They're destroying stuff. Where's the police? They could shut this down overnight if they really wanted to. It says he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. Right, a lion sits in his den and waits secretly for his prey to pass. Secretly. Therefore, the lion does everything discreet. The lion um, does it in discreet. In other words, the lion looks upon his prey in secret. The lion does it in a manner in which it's not easily detectable. He does it in a discreet manner, lest he alert his prey, and his plan to devour his prey become foiled. That's what the white man's doing. He's waiting secretly like a lion waits in his den. He's waiting secretly. He's moving in a discreet, secretive manner, seeking not to alert anyone of his true desires, true plans. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. Right? Who's the poor? The children of Israel. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. And that's what they're doing. They lie in wait to catch Jacob and put them in prisons, put them in concentration camps, man. You know? Notice they aren't even talking about the coronavirus anymore. People have forgot about that. You know? When I say forgot, I don't mean they forgot about it completely. What I mean by that is, I say they forgot about it. That's not even really the hot topic anymore. Continuing on, it says, he doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. Right, when he draweth him into his trap. You take a net, you throw a net upon an animal. Or you take a net, you throw a net in the ocean, in the water, to catch fish. Because the net is what? A trap. So he doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. So when the poor is drawn into his net or into his trap, they're now captured. And that's the trap. All it is a trap. You got these rappers out there, Lil Yachty, whatever the hell his name is, J. Cole, and they out there on the so-called front lines. Man, they just out there because they want to be a part of something. That's all it is. They just out there because they just want to be a part of something. You know? They're not wise. They're not spiritual. The only way the so-called white man will be taken down by way of divine intervention. That's it. And I'm talking about Jacob, the children of Israel, they still haven't realized that America was not set up for your equality. America was not set up. We wasn't brought over here on a cruise. We were brought over here to serve slavery. For the hundreds of years that we've been here, black people, so-called Negroes, the tribe of Judah, and all of the tribes, they have suffered the brunt. We have suffered the brunt of the white man's oppression for hundreds of years. Yet still to this very day, you still don't have justice. You still don't have equality. You still don't have square dealing. Why is that? Because America was not set up for your equality. It was set up for your punishment. Why? Because we committed sins against the Heavenly Father. When you go to Deuteronomy 28th chapter and you read the whole chapter, but also from the 15th verse on down, it speaks about the curses. It speaks about what's going to happen to the children of Israel that are hearkening to the Lord's statutes and commandments of the Heavenly Father. And if one of the scriptures speak about how we're going to be put in captivity, put in slavery, we're going to have a yoke of iron put around our neck. We're going to go into Egypt, which Egypt is references the house of bondage. We're going to go into Egypt again with ships. These things are going to occur to us. So we're going to go into bondage, but this time with ships. So that's your transatlantic slave trade. Okay? This is why we were brought over to serve our punishment. It says, no matter where the scripture tell you, no matter where I'm not quoting verbatim, but it's Deuteronomy 28 and I believe 65. It says, among all these nations, the sole of thy foot shall have no ease. If the sole of your foot or the bottom of your foot has no ease, let me get that real quick. Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. All right. And that happened when our people was put in slavery. We were scattered to various different parts of the earth. You know? Brazil, the Caribbean islands, so on and so forth. From one end of the earth even unto the other. And some of our people on the eastern hemisphere of the world. Europe and different parts of the world, you have the 12 tribes scattered. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which thou neither thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Meaning we're going to serve other gods, meaning other philosophies, other religions, if you will. So you got so-called black people, all of the tribes. Some are Muslim, some are Christian, some are this, some are that. All different types of religions. That's a curse. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease. Meaning among all nations that the Lord scatters us throughout the earth, one end of the earth into the other, we shall find no ease. No matter where we go in the world, our people are going to be downtrodden. They're going to be oppressed. They're going to be afflicted in some way, as a collective. Though there are some people who manage to have some type of material wealth, still know as a nation collectively we still are going to be oppressed. So the sole of our foot is not going to have rest. If the sole of your foot, meaning the bottom of your foot, has no rest, what does that mean? You're always on the move. You're always fleeing. If you're always fleeing, that means you're always in danger. You're always in fear of your life. Your life is always going to hang in doubt. It says, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, meaning mind, and filling of eyes and sorrow of mind. So even in these nations, you're going to have a trembling heart, meaning a trembling mind. A feeling of eyes, we're going to look in fear and a sorrow of mind. We're going to be sorrowful. We're going to have a look of fear, and our mind is going to tremble. Meaning what? Our heart is going to tremble. Meaning what? Our mind. We're going to constantly be in fear. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. Now they may say, oh, that could apply to anybody. No, that don't apply to it. It applies to the child of Israel, man. We don't got no nation. We don't got no land of our own. Ain't talking about the Chinese. What about the Chinese people who went through this slavery, or the Japanese who went through that slavery? It ain't talking about them. Guess what? Because the Japanese own their own country. The Chinese own their own land. So we know they ain't talking about them. They ain't scattered all over the world like our people were. And it's all kinds of scriptures I can go into through the Spirit of the Lord to get deeper into this. Nobody's going through the kind of oppression that people are going through and have gone through for this time. No one has. No one has. We are in the land of our enemies. I guarantee you, Chinese people out there in China get a fair shot with their government than we do here. And the lives are going to hang in doubt. You're going to always be in fear of our life. In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were even. In the evening thou shalt say, would God it were morning. Meaning, in the morning we can wish it was nighttime. And at nighttime we can wish it was morning. In other words, we're going to pray to the Lord that we just make it through the day. Now lay me down to sleep. You know that prayer? I pray the Lord my soul to keep. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Slavery, the convict leasing system, heroin, crack, cocaine in our neighborhoods, guns in our neighborhoods, being railroaded by the prison system, being hung, in other words, lynched, being beaten and killed by police officers. Come on, man, you name it. I could have went to the 68th verse, but that was going on that. Verse 10, Psalms 10 and 10. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by a strong one. So Esau pretends as though he's humble. He crouches down like he's bound down to you, and he humbleth himself. He pretends as though he's humble. Oh, we just want to help. That the poor may fall by a strong one, but he does that so that the poor may fall by a strong one, that we may fall by his military, that we may fall by his military, that we may fall by Esau's police force, that we may fall by Esau's power. They come to you in a humble manner to catch you in a trap. That's why I said that. He hath said in his heart that the Most High hath forgotten, that God hath forgotten. He hideth his face, he would never see it. But that's what they're saying. They're saying the Most High he forgot about slavery. Why? Because they feel that for all the evils they've done to us, they're never going to pay for it. That's why Ecclesiastes 8 and 11 says what? Because sentence against an evil worker is not executed speedily, it is fully set in the heart of the sons of men of evil, meaning because you're not being judged right then and there for what it is that you're doing. It's fully set in your heart to do evil, because in your mind you say, well, I just did this and did that. God didn't judge me, so you're going to keep doing wickedness. Because sentence against an evil work, meaning judgment against an evil work, sentence, right? He's been sentenced to this, sentenced to that time. Because sentence or judgment against an evil work is not executed speedily, meaning on the spot. It is fully set in the heart of the sons of men, meaning the mind of the sons of men, the mind of these people, to do what? To do evil. So they feel the Lord forgot. Arise, O Lord, O God, O power. Arise, O Lord, O God, lift up thine hand, forget not the humble, and the Lord not going to forget us. With that, I'm going to close and say, praise you. How about Shemashah? I hope I've learned something. Shalom.